from Nerdy Nordic Stitches. Welcome if you're a new viewer, welcome if you're a returning viewer. I am a mom of two from Iceland, living in the UK, and I've been stitching for most of my life, but really went down the rabbit hole a few years ago. Maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. So yes, if you've been watching me for a while, you know I mentioned I was going to do a WIP parade. I'm debating whether to have this be just a WIP parade or also a pattern parade. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to film just the WIPs. If it takes me a long time, I might do a pattern parade separately. I might do that like mid-year is what I'm debating, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, let's just dive in. So the first patterns that I'm going to show you are from Satsuma Street. These are ones that I bought them when I was pregnant with my son, who is now 7 years old. So I think there might be a bit of a focus project for me this year. I want to try and get them done. If you watched my last video, I did say that I was going to take a bit of a break from stitching in January. I haven't actually done that. I've been stitching on one of these, but I'm actually quite enjoying just being able to stitch on what I want to. We'll get to the reason why I got a bit burnt out later in the video for those of you that aren't aware. But yes, so I got these series of, so Satsuma Street does these little like pretty little city patterns. She has a bunch of them. I bought 4 of them when I was pregnant with the idea that it would be like a travel themed nursery. That obviously didn't happen. So one of them I've already finished, which is Pretty Little Tokyo. I finished this, I don't think last year, I think the year before, I can't quite remember now. But this is Pretty Little Tokyo that is finished. Yeah, as I say, I can't remember when I did it, but I really really love that one. Really love the colors. The one that I'm then next furthest along is Pretty Little New York. I'll stick a little photo of what it should look like here for a moment, and I've been making some progress on it, as I say, this month, and hopefully we'll do some more as well. So this is where I'm at, making steady progress. As you can see, I do not have a very big border here. When I did this, I wasn't very I wasn't as advanced of a stitcher, I don't know. So yeah, I cut the border really close. So my thought is I'm going to sew instead of when I frame it having like the cardboard frame around it, I'm going to sew on a fabric sort of frame just to give me a bit more space for framing and sorting it out when I frame it. And last one that I've started is Pretty Little Hong Kong, which is this one. I'll put it here. And I'm not very far along with that one. I need to see which way it's supposed to face. I think it's this way. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Not very far at all, but yeah. So yeah, they're gonna be a bit of a focus piece, at least for a bit. I am in the Fandom Stitching Central group on Facebook. And one of their challenges this year is doing 25 in 25 projects. So we're doing 25 projects, which I haven't chosen all of the ones that are going to be the 25 in 25, but all 3 of those, because I've obviously finished the Pretty Little Tokyo one, all 3 of those are going to be on that. I'll show you the last one in a moment. So yeah, 25 projects. And the challenge is to do 2,500 stitches on them. So yeah, I mean there's more stitches on them than that. And then the last one that will be in that is Pretty Little London here. I haven't started that one. I've got the fabric because I cut it out like years ago. But yeah, I haven't done any of that. I do also have a pattern for Reykjavik because Satsuma Street doesn't have a pretty little Reykjavik. So I found another designer that does similar patterns, and that's this one. I can't remember the designer off the top of my head, so I will stick it up here somewhere. But I want to do that one as well. And I kind of want to try and finish it soon while the kids are still kind of little. And I also want to frame it. When I frame them on the wall, I also have this pattern from, I've forgotten her name, Emma Congdon, Stitchrovia, that's her name. So yeah, it's this Not All Those Who Wander Are Lost pattern. I kind of want to do that with them, kind of sticking with that kind of travel theme. So yeah, I might try and focus on those this year, which means I need to add the Emma Congdon one and actually the Reykjavik one onto my 25 and 25. So yeah, that's where we are with those. Let's see what is next. So next one, I'm going to show you one of my Hannah Alexander Make It Pink patterns. So Make It Pink is the person that charted it. I forget her name now. I'll put it up here. She does really gorgeous patterns, and some of them are based off of Hannah Alexander artwork. She does this sort of Art Nouveau style versions of characters. She's a stunning artist. Go check her out on Instagram and everything. But yeah, so I have, so Hannah Alexander did a bunch of Legend of Zelda patterns a while ago, and Make It Pink has charted them. So the one I'm working on currently is this one. It is, so Midna here. And this has a background that is charted by Crafty Gurumi on Instagram. Stunning, absolutely stunning. So yeah, it's kind of the character is kind of Midna, but is kind of in the style of Princess Zelda. Anyway, so yeah, this is where we're at. I haven't touched this in months because I've been busy with other things, but this is also on my 25 and 25. I really want to make some progress on it. What I am looking at doing, and this is something that I learned from Maria the Green Stitcher. Go check her out. She does lovely Flosstube videos. But she has a stand where there's like a leg standing down, so you can have it on a desk or in your lap on the sofa. But what she did was she bought one of those, and then her other frames, she drilled a hole in here so that she could use her other scroll frames on it. So I'm planning to do that. I need my father-in-law's help to do that because I don't have a drill. So yeah, that's the plan for that one. But yeah, I will put in all the amounts, like how much I've stitched on everything and how much is in total. This one's a big one. This is going to take me years. But yeah, I'll put it in here because I can't remember off the top of my head and I don't want to stop and look. Right, on to the next one. So, next one. This is one that is probably the most expensive kit I have because it is an out of stock Dimensions Gold kit. The only place I could find it that wasn't like £200, $200, whichever, was like you can find them on eBay, but they go for stupid amounts of money. But I found it in an online shop in the Netherlands, but she wouldn't ship to the UK because of Brexit, or it had to be like a certain amount of money, and it was like more than I wanted to spend. So I ended up having it shipped to Sweden, where my auntie lives, and then she shipped it with some other bits that she was sending me anyway. Shipped that to me. So yeah, it was a bit of a, but it was worth it because it's a stunning kit. and I blame Stitching Moon for this, because she got her hands on a kit and I saw it on her kit parade a couple years ago and I had to have it. I was obsessed. So anyways, let's get onto the actual kit. I'm going to take this out because it will have glare otherwise, but this is it. I love it. Love it so much. She's so stunning. She does remind me very much of a character from a podcast called Worlds Beyond Number. If you know, you know. But yeah, she's stunning. I love the colors in it. So I did start that one last year. It took me a while to start because I wanted to put it into Cross Stitch Saga, the app that I use. And it took me a while. I used WinStitch to essentially chart it in WinStitch so that I could then upload it onto Cross Stitch Saga. I have a video about Cross Stitch Saga if anyone's interested in it. It's my favorite app, but I do use markup for some things, but I feel like Saga, especially if you've got like backstitch, French knots, partial stitches, Saga is by far the best app that you can get. So yeah, this is where we're at. I made a fair bit of progress, I think in like April, May last year. There's like a bit of her dress here, and I think this is part of the bear. You can see all these different colors, and then it just combines together into this, to play with light along here is just stunning. So yeah, that's one. Right, next one is a lettuce stitch kit. I only have one of these. I've never been really familiar with lettuce stitch, but my dad got me this as a present, I think Christmas a year ago, maybe 2 years, I can't quite remember. I think a year ago. But yeah, this is the pattern. It's really stunning. I haven't gotten very far with it. I think I've got like a couple hundred stitches in. Not very far at all. Not because I don't want to stitch it, I just have so many patterns that I want to work on, and it's hard to prioritize. So it's literally just that, which is, I believe, the little greenery here around, no, sorry, here around the door. So not very far, but at some point I will make some more progress on it because it is very pretty, and I do really like it. Right, on to the next one. Oh, I forgot to add, the lettuce stitch kit comes on these, the threads come on these cards, which I do actually really like. These are anchor threads, which these are the only anchor threads I've ever tried, and they seem quite nice, I have to say. But yeah, lots of them like that. There's one really sparkly one here that I quite like. I don't know if you can pick up the spark. There you go. I think you can see the sparkle there. So yeah, that'll be fun. But yeah, let's go on to the next one. Right, so the next one is a pattern that I kind of got into at the start of my dive into the Etsy rabbit hole. Oh my lord. So yeah, it doesn't really have a proper name. I just call it my Galaxy Cat pattern. I'll stick the artist name up here. As I said, it's on Etsy. This is what they will look like. Yeah, cat sitting on a moon. I just love the colors on it. And again, I haven't gotten very far with it. This is where we're at. Got it on, I think this is a 36 count linen. I think it's 36. I'll double check when I edit this. I'm trying to do this very quickly on a Sunday morning. My kids are downstairs. To be fair, we are having a chill morning. I think the kids need a chill morning, but yeah. Hopefully you don't hear them shouting downstairs or anything, and hopefully we can get through this in one go. Right, next one is a stitch along that I got from a stitching book club. Is the Anne of Green Gables. So I think this was my first foray into 28 count and doing 2/2. So that was it took me a little bit to get used to it, but I'm quite used to it now. But it was a bit of a learning process. But yes, so this is what the finished pattern will look like, and this is where we're at. I do love the colors in this, like the greens and the pinks and the blues and everything. It is really pretty. But again, haven't touched it in a while. We'll hopefully make some progress on it at some point. But who knows when that's going to be exactly. So next one is a pattern by, I think it's Kits by SA Stitches. She does these really gorgeous, like winter themed animal kind of things. I really want to do all of them. They're stunning. But I got this one a while ago. It's this cute little winter rabbit, bunny, whatever you call it. Doing this one, I think again, this is on a higher count. I'll look up what it is. It's some sort of linen, maybe 28 count. But yeah, this is where we're at. Again, just a couple hundred stitches, not very far at all. But yes, I would like to make some progress on that. I want to make progress on all my patterns. Sadly, I do not have a lot of time. Someday when the kids are older, I will have time to sit and stitch at my leisure. But today is not that day. Right, let's go on to the next one. So next, I have a set of patterns from Mia Stitch. She has a set of 3 Lord of the Rings themed ones. I'll stick a picture of all 3 up here. And I have started the Mordor one, and I've started the Shire one. Let's start with Mordor. I've gotten further along in that, but I haven't touched it in quite a long time. So this is where we're at. I do think I'd like to stick this on my 25 and 25, make some progress on it, but we'll see. We'll see how the year goes. And then we have the Shire one. Which way does this face? I can't remember. I think it's this way. You can see how long it's been since I've stitched on it. So yeah, as you can see, not as far along in that. That's the Hobbit door coming up quite well. I love the colors in it. It's beautiful. But yeah, that's how far I've gotten in that one. Right, on to the next one. So this is a pattern that I'm doing. Ed, if you're watching, just go away. You can't see this yet. I'm doing it for my brother. He is LGBT. So I'm doing this pattern here. It makes me giggle. It's the Gay Agenda pattern. So I made a bit of progress on it last summer when there was like I think there was like a Pride pop-up challenge in the fandom stitching group. But this is where we're at. So as you can see, because compared to the original pattern, I can't do black letters. So I decided to use variegated thread here which I'm really happy with. I think it's coming out really well. But yeah, because of, sorry, I've got loads of threads in here, because basically the challenge I did last summer was like stitch in all the colors of the rainbow. It was like do 100 in red, do 100 in yellow, etc, etc. So I made a start on a bunch of these, and then I can't remember, I think I just wanted to start from the variegated thread because it looks really cool. I definitely think that's going on the 25 and 25. I want to get this sorted out. It needs working on. Right, on to the next one. Right, and next, this is probably my biggest project. I think this has like 200,000 stitches in it, and that is why I decided to do it in 10 stitch, half cross, whatever you want to call it. This is my stained glass Zelda piece, and sadly the Etsy seller I bought it from, the shop is closed. I have seen someone else selling basically the same pattern, but yeah, so this is what the pattern will look like. I've kind of done 2 different starts, so I've done kind of a middle start. So as you can see, it's very confetti heavy, except for like the face, literally. It is very confetti heavy, but hopefully it will be worth it. And then at some point I just wanted to get some stitches in because there's obviously a lot of black on it. So I started up here as well, and hopefully it matches up, because otherwise I might lose my mind. But it's it's going to be a very big piece. I think this is like 25 count, and it's still like, I can't even get the, let me see if I can get it in frame. There, that's how big it is. It's going to be big. So yeah, that's probably a lifelong project. I might stick it on my 25 and 25 just to get some work on it, because as I said, it's on the challenge isn't to finish it, it's just to do 2,500 stitches, which if I was doing it on this, because they count, a stitch has to be a full cross, so that would be 5,000 on this. But yeah, I think it would be good to get some progress on it, even if it was only the black, fill in like a bunch of the black, that would be helpful. Right, next one. Right, next is the cricket collection mittens that I'm doing. I've literally only started 2, and they have a bunch of them. But it was something that I had seen. There's a Ukrainian lady. She goes by Living on the Rainbow on Instagram, and she's done a bunch of them. Really gorgeous, and made them into like actual mittens and hangs them up. So I really want to do that. It's really cool. So the only ones I've started are this one, the hot chocolate mitten, and that's as far as I've got. They do stitch up quite quickly. I just need to be able to prioritize them, and I don't think they are going to get prioritized for a while at least, sadly, but at some point I will get back to them. And then I've also done the cookie jar mitten, which is this one, and that is literally, I think it's like 100 stitches. I think it's 100 rather than 200. So I think I was using them for some prompt at some point for the stitching game. So yeah, that's where we are with that. And then we have another from Stitching Book Club. This one I'm probably going to restart. So I did this fairly early on. This is this pattern from Stitching Book Club. This is no longer available. It's a Chronicles of Narnia pattern, and she only got permission to do, I think, 50 or something. So yeah, it's no longer available, sadly, but it is quite nice. So this is the pattern, and this is where I'm at. However, I don't want to do it on this pattern. So when I did this, the pattern called for, I think, opalescent white or something or like that. So basically sparkly white is what I know now. I didn't know what I was looking for when I started this, so I ordered this is some sort of, oh yeah, opalescent. So it's a lovely pattern, lovely fabric. I don't know if you can, it's not quite catching all the colors. It's quite sort of like pale pinks, purples, and blues kind of. I don't think it's catching the colors quite in the camera, but it's quite pretty. So I want to use it for something else, but I think for the Chronicles of Narnia, you know, Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, it's snowy and all of that, so I want that white sparkly effect rather than this. So yeah, at some point I think I will unpick that and start it over. Right, and last WIPs I have are the Brooks books, Advent Animals. I feel like I need to say here that sadly Brooke of Brooks Books passed away recently, which is very sad. She was a lovely designer. I have her Advent Animal patterns, which were freebies, which she did. And I also have some like Disney princess dress patterns that I'll probably put in the pattern parade. But yeah, sadly she has passed away. So what I have here is her Advent Animals. I've made some progress on them. Right, I think I'm trying to film this bit for the 4th time because my children are being very loud, but we'll try again. So these are the Brooks books, Advent Animals. I've finished 2 of them. I'm doing them individually. I'm going to make them into like little cushiony things that you can hang up. But yes, they are, some people have done them as like one pattern piece, but I'm doing them as individual ones. And yeah, they're like kind of like an advent calendar kind of thing. So there are 25 of them. So I have done Katie Kitty, which is here. She's very pretty, I like her. And I've also done Mary Mouse, fully done. Well, stitching, the sewing will come at some point. I think I'll stitch all of them, and then, you know, FFO them in one go. So the other ones I have are Cassie Cow is quite far along. The other ones not so much. I used them for a Mania prompt last May. So most of them are like 100, 200 stitches in. This one is, and I'll stick like the finished version next to them. So here's Colin Cardinal. Hamilton Horse, who looks a bit ghoulish at the moment. Hattie Hedgehog, again looking a bit ghoulish. But I mean, Mary Mouse looked very ghoulish for a while, but she's very cute now. Duncan Dog, Kenny Kanga, Peter Polar Bear, I think it's Colin Camel, Gigi Giraffe, Pearly Pig, Rascal Raccoon, that cracks me up. Sheila Sheep, Fluffy Squirrel, Fitzwilliam Frog, that cracks me up as well, and Pierre the Penguin. So as you can see, I still have a long way to go, and I still have several that I haven't even finished. Let me see if I can find the list I have. Oh, yes, I did find them. So what I have left to start is Remy Rabbit, Larry Lion, Odette Owl, Ethan Elephant, Ping the Panda, Alistair Alligator, Deborah Donkey, and Rudolph the Reindeer. So yeah, those are the ones I have left for that. I think those are all my WIPs. I thought I'd briefly mention also some bits I finished last year. So I did a pattern for my son last year. It was of his name, so I won't show the whole thing. But I'll show his initials. So I had it, the pattern custom made, and he loves his like construction vehicles, so it has like diggers and excavators and whatever on it. So those are here, his initials. So I finished that last summer, which I was quite pleased with. Still need to frame it. As usual, I have not quite gotten around to doing that. And I'm also planning to do a similar pattern for my daughter. It's going to have rabbits on it. That's still in the pattern making stage. I did get a custom pattern. It wasn't from the same person. The person I originally went to doesn't seem to do it anymore. The one I went to for my daughter's pattern, I wasn't super happy with it, so I'm kind of trying to fix it on my own. We'll see how it goes. But then also the last 6 months, this is what I mentioned at the start of the video, was that the last 6 months have kind of been overtaken with this project. I made dice trays for my D&D group. It took a very long time to do, and I'm not a monogamous stitcher. I find it very hard to stick to one project, so it was a task and a half trying to finish that on time, because we play D&D online mostly, but we have like once a year we'll do an IRL meetup. So we did that in early January, so I finished those on time. I left on the Thursday for the trip. I finished making them on the Tuesday, like they were last minute, but I did it. I was very proud of them. Yeah, very happy with that. But yeah, I think we're going to leave it there. I think I will just do a pattern parade maybe in the summertime. I will leave myself some time to do that because I need to be a bit more organized if I'm going to do that. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for joining in. If you got this far, if you could do all the usual, like, subscribe, comment. If I've accidentally ignored your comment, I'm really sorry. I do have ADHD, and sometimes I see something and then by the time I get around to actually commenting, I've forgotten about it. So I do really apologize if I skipped your comment. I'm going to try and be better about not looking at the notification until I'm ready to comment back, because otherwise it will just be gone from my head. But I do really appreciate it when people comment. So thank you for all the love, and I will see you later at some point. Bye.